60 Minutes Rewind.
Last year, Americans spent more than $80 billion playing state lotteries. That's around $250 for each citizen, more than what was spent on concerts, sporting events, and movie tickets combined. Over 25 states took in more from their lottery proceeds than from corporate income tax. Because of these stakes, it's essential that in both perception and reality, lotteries are truly games of chance, everyone entering with an equal opportunity to win. Which is why investigators took note when a retired couple from Michigan, Jerry and Marge Selbee, made $26 million winning various state lottery games dozens of times. This is not a story, though, of a con or a scam or an inside job. No, this is a ballad of a couple from small-town America who did something that most people only dream of. They didn't so much as beat the lottery odds as they figured them out. For years, high school sweethearts Jerry and Marge Selbee lived a quiet life in Everett, Michigan, population 1,900. A single stoplight factory town that collapses in the folds of a map. Together, they raised 6 kids and ran a local convenience store on Main Street. Jerry handled the liquor and cigarettes, and Marge kept the books and made the sandwiches.
How long did you have the store?
17 years.
17 years? Mm-hmm. Every day?
Mm-hmm.
Every day.
Why'd you decide to sell it?
I was 62, Marge was 63, and I thought it was a nice time to sell and see what we could do after that.
You're in your early 60s, you decide to retire, you're going to put your feet up. What was the plan?
Yeah, that was
I don't think we had one per se.
That was basically it. We were going to enjoy life a little bit.
But one morning in 2003, Jerry happened to walk back into the corner store and spotted a brochure for a brand new lottery game called Windfall. Jerry always possessed what he calls a head for math. He has a bachelor's degree in the subject from nearby Western Michigan University. And in only a matter of minutes, he realized that this was a unique game.
And I read it, and by the time I was out here, I knew what the potential might be.
It did not take you weeks to suss this out.
No, not at all. 3 minutes.
3 minutes, and you've found the loophole in the state lottery.
3 minutes. I found a special feature.
That feature was called a roll down, and the lottery announced when it was coming. Unlike the Mega Millions games you've probably heard of, where the jackpot keeps building until someone hits all 6 numbers and wins the big prize, in Windfall, if the jackpot reached $5 million and no one matched all 6 numbers, all the money rolled down to the lower tier prize winners, dramatically boosting the payouts of those who matched 5, 4, or 3 numbers. Sound complicated? Well, it wasn't to Jerry. See if you can stick with him here.
Here's what I said. I said, if I played $1,100, mathematically I'd have one 4-number winner. That's $1,000. I divided 1,100 by 6 instead of 57 because I did a mental quick dirty, and I come up with 18. So I knew I'd have either 18 or 19 3-number winners, and that's $50 each. At 18, I got $1,000 for a 4-number winner, and I got 18 3-number winners worth $50 each. That's $900. So I got $1,100 invested, and I've got a $1,900 return.
Sounds like good math.
Yeah, a little over 80%, isn't it?
You're talking about this as if it's the most obvious set of figures in the world. This is not taxing the outer limits of your math skills.
No, it is. Actually, it's just basic arithmetic.
Are you thinking, I bet there are 1 million people that have also caught on to this?
Exactly is what I thought.
When a roll down was announced, Jerry sprang into action. He bought $3,600 in Windfall tickets and won $6,300. Then he bet $8,000 and nearly doubled it.
At that point, I told Marge what I was doing.
I was going to say, putting thousands of dollars in action on a state lottery game. At what point do you share this with your wife?
Right at that point.
Jerry says, I think I've cracked the Michigan State Lottery. What do you say to that?
It didn't surprise me.
You weren't surprised?
No, I wasn't surprised because as long as nobody wins and you win money, you could see the numbers.
So when you realize there aren't 1 million people that have discovered this, it's pretty much just you. What's that feeling like?
Amazed.
Yeah.
Amazed.
Pretty happy.
I just couldn't. I just couldn't fathom it.
Soon, Jerry and Marge Selbee started playing for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Jerry set up a corporation, GS Investment Strategies. He showed us stacks of record books that detailed their winnings.
Here's one that's pretty successful. We played $515,000 and we got back $853,000.
It's about a 60% return.
That was a good return.
They invited family and friends to share in their, well, windfall, selling shares in the corporation for $500 apiece. You might say this was a different kind of hedge fund. We met some of the local investors at the Everett hangout spot, Sugar Ray's Cafe.
All four of you guys are members of an exclusive club.
Yeah.
Yes.
James White is a local attorney. Dave Huff operated a machine and tool shop. And brothers Lauren and Ray Gerber are retired farmers.
And when you looked at the mathematics of it, it made sense.
You guys followed the math when he broke it down?
Pretty much.
I did a little bit, yeah.
But he's really good at math.
So he
We
explained
ask
this.
him questions.
Yeah, he's a math whiz.
Do you guys remember how much you gave him to invest?
I had about 8,000, and then I put another 6 in for the grandkids.
For the grandkids?
Yeah.
But overall, you guys came out way ahead on this.
Oh yes. Oh
yes.
yeah. It was a good game.
It helped me put 3 kids through school, 1 through law school, so it was quite beneficial.
Used it for education.
Pretty much.
There's a lot of people around town that knew what it was about and talk about it, that it had occurred.
Sure.
And
But a lot of people were really leery.
You bet.
They were thinking, you guys are nuts.
yeah.
By the spring of 2005, Jerry's club stood at 25 members. Those willing to press their luck included 3 state troopers, a factory plant manager, and a bank vice president. They had played Windfall 12 times, winning millions, when Michigan suddenly shut down the game, citing, ironically, lack of sales.
Michigan game gets closed down. How long before you realized there was a game in Massachusetts that also presented some favorable odds?
One of our players emailed me and he said, Massachusetts has a game called Cash Windfall. Do you think we could play that?
I've heard that.
And so I got on the computer, I looked at the game, and once I researched it, I got back with him and I said, we can play that game.
We got another winner. How long did it take you this time to figure out that you could get a positive return here?
10 minutes.
That's when Jerry and Marge Selbee developed a routine they continued for the next 6 years, driving 900 miles to Massachusetts every time there was a roll down and buying hundreds of thousands of tickets at 2 local convenience stores. Then they holed up, not in some fancy suite at the High Rollers Hotel, but in a room at the Red Roof Inn, sorting the tickets by hand for 10 hours a day, 10 days straight. Not so much playing the lottery as working it.
So once there was a roll down, on average, how much were you putting in play?
Over $600,000 per play, 7 plays a year.
$4.2 million once this roll down was coming.
Per year.
Did you ever get nervous?
Oh, yeah.
What'd you do with all the losing tickets?
Saved them.
You saved all the
Saved
losing
them
tickets.
in big, the big totes.
Big plastic totes.
There must have been millions.
18.
$18 million worth of losing lottery.
tickets.
And you have this.
Just in case we had a physical federal audit.
We had the upstairs of the barn. I stored them in one end and in the other end. And then I thought, oh no, this floor is going to fall through. So then we stored them down in a pole barn. And we had probably 60, 65 tubs of tickets.
Did you guys ever say, we're supposed to be retired here? We're making 14-hour drives to Massachusetts.
We're having fun.
Pulling,
Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun
It's
for you
fun.
guys.
It's fun doing it, yes.
You get a high on it.
And it gave you a satisfaction of being successful at something that was worthwhile to not only us personally, but to our friends and our family.
But in 2011, the Boston Globe got a tip and discovered that in certain Massachusetts locations, cash windfall tickets were being sold at an extraordinary volume.
Smart people had figured out, if I buy enough of these tickets, I'll always be a winner. I'll get back more than I spent.
Scott Allen oversees the Globe's investigative reporters known as the Spotlight Team. the paper's reporting revealed that two groups were dominating cash windfall. The Selbee gang from Everett, Michigan, and their competition, a syndicate led by math majors from MIT, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. These were kids young enough to be the Selbees' grandchildren.
The guy who started it, he was doing an independent study project as an undergraduate at MIT, and he figured out that he could win this game. So he got a bunch of his friends to pool in their money. So they became, as time went on, professional cash windfall players, recruiting their friends and raising money from backers until they, too, were spending hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Incredibly, the MIT group bet between $17 and $18 million on cash windfall over a 7-year period, earning at least $3.5 million in profits, almost the exact same rate of return as the Selbees.
You've got a syndicate from Northwest Michigan. You've got a group of MIT students. Did your story meter start beeping?
It's a great story.
The Boston Globe articles caused a sensation, raising suspicion that the game was rigged.
The story will continue after this.
The Massachusetts state treasurer shut down the cash windfall game and called for an investigation. It was led by then State Inspector General Greg Sullivan.
When we got involved, the public perception was there must be some kind of organized crime or public corruption to explain how millions of dollars are being bet by syndicates on state lottery tickets. We really looked at this, looking for corruption. We used subpoenas. We looked at documents. We interviewed dozens of people to look at this in detail with a hypothesis that something illegal had happened.
You went into this looking for organized crime. As the story unfolded, were you surprised by what you found?
I wasn't surprised. I was dumbfoundedly amazed that these math nerd geniuses had found a way, legally, to win a state lottery and make millions from it.
And the state's getting rich in the process.
And the state got very rich. The state made $120 million.
The investigation found no one's odds of winning was affected by high-volume betting. When the jackpot hit the roll-down threshold, cash windfall became a good bet for everyone, not just the big-time bettors like the Selbees. By then, though, Massachusetts State Lottery had moved on to a different game, without a statistical twist. And with that, Jerry and Marge Selbee's excellent adventure drew to an end. In total, their unlikely homegrown company grossed more than $26 million from 9 years of playing the lottery.
Your corporation, $26 million.
Mm-hmm.
You smile when you recounted that figure.
That was satisfactory.
Satisfactory.
Yeah.
They made nearly $8 million in profit before taxes. Back in Everett, not exactly the land of extravagance, the Selbees put their winnings to practical use, renovating their home and helping their 6 kids, 14 grandkids, and 10 great-grandchildren pay for their education. They still get together with members of their lottery group, but millions of dollars in windfall tickets have been replaced by nickel and dime poker night. And Marge makes everyone chicken pot pie.
I'm struck by how measured you are telling this story. Do you find anything remarkable about this?
The only thing I found really remarkable is nobody else really seemed to grasp it.
What I'm hearing you say is that this part of the country is really good at keeping a secret.